it's dealing with certainly, the social aspects, the separation of men and women. There's no dating. Stay away from, fornication and adultery. It's dealing with society as well. When you look at the laws that are, within the Quran, it's a complete way of life. But even deeper than that, which means that when I'm going to do an action, do I check with the Quran? So if I'm going to, go to school, if I want to finance my education, it's a choice there. Islam says something about how you should finance. If I'm going to go into business, well, there's rules and aspects of what can you buy, what can you sell. Can you engage in real estate? Can you make money off of people? Can you rob the poor? So it's all different aspects that really make Islam a complete way of life. So the number one thing that how life has changed has been from the concepts. It's been from the ideas first, right? And then if someone is convinced of the idea, which you would think if you say you believe in Islam, I would be convinced. Then from there, you'll see that the actions will be in accordance to Islam. So for example, if I know that there's, Islam says there should be no dating, there should be no, fornication, or what we would say, sex outside marriage, right? In the university, you use the word fornication because that has a religious context. You probably say sex outside marriage. Now, if I believe, I believe in Islam, so I know this verse saying, La taqrabu zina, don't go near zina. So now, how that applies in my life is now I began to seek marriage, and I began to deal with women not as sex objects, not as the primary objective to get into their pants. Without a doubt, that changes. In so many other ways I mentioned drinking, and from a conceptual aspect of life in general, I cannot really relax and enjoy myself as I did, before Islam, because I'm cognizant, and I think the more knowledge that you get, you really begin to see, when you look at the verses of the Quran, that Yom Kippur, the day when we all die and meet our Creator, is a terrible day. It's a day when we would throw our sons into this burning fire, and before ourselves, we would throw our wives, we would throw our parents. So it's a heavy weight. So I cannot just take life as what mere sport and play. The Quran says in a verse, fair in the eyes of men is the law of things they covet. Women and sons, heaped up hoards of gold and silver, horses branded for blood and excellence, and wealth of cattle and well-tutored men. Such are the possessions of this world's life. But in the nearness of Allah is the best of goals to return. So this verse is obviously dealing with the very issue I'm talking about, that it's pleasure, that, the things that, we're supposed to convent, and, by attending university and getting our degrees, and you look at the general, non-Islamic society, the values that it tells us, that, essentially you're supposed to do these things. You're supposed to sow your oats. You'll see that, particularly on the campuses, drinking is a big issue. And I know as a graduate student, I don't know if there's any, I don't see any graduate department members, that you'll see that drinking almost after every class is something that is engaged in. But once again, converting to Islam, you realize that this is that life is deeper than that. And one can say, well, why is it deeper than that? Well, once again, because I believe that I'll meet my Creator on the day of judgment. And then secondly, I see the practical reasons why this is, alcohol destroys the liver, the kidneys, and it causes many different problems. So, from that aspect, you can see that, Islam is very practical, very real. In different aspects, I won't kind of dwell on the other issues of how has Islam changed my life. The final question is, how does it contribute to your day-to-day life and take care of your spiritual and physical needs? Well, I think this was once again indicated in the prior question, which is that it has first and foremost changed the ideas and concepts, and that's how you change any human being. They have to be convinced, and the mind and the thought has to be changed. And so that's what it has done to me, which consequently changed the actions and made me look at life as what Islam says, through either halal or haram. Because at the end of the day, when I stand before my Creator, it's the gray. It is black and white. It won't be it was kind of haram, but maybe it could have been halal, or it wasn't halal, it wasn't haram, which is an absurd concept. It's either you're going to look through this and you're going to treat life as such, and you're going to continue as if you're Muslim to keep moving and stay convinced, proceed in life. So I think that's how I answer those 3 questions. Thank you.